Hi, this is Jack from Alpha Charts with a crypto crunch. Today is January 9th, 2022. Before we get started, this video is for informational purposes only. These are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any stock or security. And I may hold positions in some of the equities mentioned. Know your time frame and risk tolerance. Also, if you like these videos, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate that. It helps me out, keeps me making these videos. Also, you can find me at Twitter at AlphaCharts365. We're talking about crypto and growth stocks and just what's working in the stock market in general. But this is Crypto Crunch, so let's get started. It's been a pretty nasty correction from highs of 69,000 or so. What was the high there? About 69,000, all the way down now to 42,000. Bitcoin, which is what we're talking about, is now sitting on a potential area of support. This 42,000, we'll say all the way down to like 40 or 39,000, somewhere around there. That may hold. If it doesn't hold, I think that 30,000 so is very likely. Now, price is extended from its moving averages. By the way, this is a weekly chart. Everything we do today is going to be weekly charts to zoom out and get a bit better picture of what's really going on. Extended from the moving averages. What that tells me is that expect, at least for a few days, for a bounce to happen. Now, if it can hold this area as it bounces and then turn back up above the moving averages, that'd be the bullish scenario. But a bounce into the moving averages and then a breakdown puts that $30,000 or so back into 29,000 in play. It's very likely that that's what happens. No guarantees or anything, but that would also confirm a double top. And if 29,000 breaks, it could go all the way down to about 13, 12. We're not quite there yet. We're here at 42,000. Let's see what happens with this. But again, the next level of importance, in my opinion, we'll call it 29,000 or so. And after that, right around 12 or 13,000. But Bitcoin is a linchpin for most cryptos. They kind of follow Bitcoin's lead. So that's why this particular chart is so important. And we have a lot of data, right? Because Bitcoin is the oldest. Let's look at Ethereum. Here we go. Ethereum on the weekly. Again, it's starting to break down. I think there it is. This is the area that I'm looking at to potentially hold as important. Pretty nasty looking breakdown right there. Ethereum down to 13, 14,000. It's possible, right? Now, does it go there in a straight line? No, nothing ever happens in a straight line, right? You get ebbs and flows and everything else. Even this uptrend, you have some nasty looking days over here, right? As it gets extended from the moving averages, expect a snap back into the moving average, then potentially a rollover. Again, this, anywhere from 14 to 1700 area, that's an area of potential support, major potential support. Maybe 2700, offers some kind of support. I don't know, but these are the areas to really consider. That's probably an area that maybe I can highlight right here too. Something like that. Right? As it comes into this area, maybe it bounces, lets the moving averages catch up, and then it potentially rolls over again. Now, if it stays above the area, we'll call it 2,700 or so, then there's a chance to get the moving averages to flatten out, turn back up, and maybe at that point things can move higher. But we got a bunch to go through today. Next up will be Solana. Again, we're using TrendSpider for charting today. Appreciate the guys over there at TrendSpider, do a good job. I love their crypto charts. I'm also trying to use all my charts versus Coinbase just to keep the pricing kind of the same across the board. So just FYI on that. Again, and always weekly charts for this particular video. Here's Solana. Right back into support. Again, a bounce is very possible here, but if it breaks, 128-ish, there's a lot of room to the downside here. So just be aware of that. And again, now we're going to start to go a little bit faster. Here is Cardano. Cardano coming into, $1. If it breaks $1, things get pretty nasty, right? Polkadot. 2278-ish, 2275, wherever you want to put it. That's where things get nasty. Okay. I guess that's what I'm trying to highlight today. Where do things get nasty? Here's Luna. Luna's holding up fairly well comparatively, right? I mean, it's given a bunch back. It was at 103, now it's at 72. So it's not like it hasn't given a whole bunch back, but it's still pretty far above, this $51 mark. And the moving averages on the weekly are moving higher. So it's still considered in an uptrend for the longer term. So that's kind of nice to see Luna kind of holding up, even though when you go top to bottom, it's pretty nasty pullback, even where it's at now, 30% pullback in 2 weeks. So that's Luna. Avalanche. Let that come up here. And here's your avalanche chart. Again, this area right here, probably the low, right around $79 or so, $78, somewhere around there. That's the part that's got to hold for avalanche, right? If that holds, then it's just a sideways consolidation on the weekly, not bad. Matic, one of my favorites here was Matic, and I've made, I own Matic and I like Matic. It kind of topped out here once again, right at 292, 290-ish area, and it rolled back over. Again, longer term, uptrend still looks pretty good, but if it starts to break down, can it get back down here to $1? Yeah, it could get cut in half again. There's nothing that says it can't here. It's technically really in a range, if at best. So just be careful with crypto. And know your time frame, right? If you're a short-term trader, I'd wait for more confirmation. If you're a dollar cost averaging long-term holder, then this is a great opportunity for everybody, right? I personally think that's the way to play crypto, is dollar cost averaging long-term. This is crypto.com. Again, the area is pretty clear. Prices coming into it, potential bounce possible here, and move higher. But when this area breaks, or if it breaks, things get nasty real fast. Litecoin, it's been around for a while, lots of areas to watch. But again, this is the area, but it's extended, expect the bounce, then a potential rollover. And there'll be areas here where potentially, it could hold some support, but this is the major area. And that's what I tried to highlight. Uniswap, again, right there on that area. If it breaks down below $14, $13, somewhere around there, it gets nasty, right? Algorand, as the chart pulls up, there it is. Here's from the ICO. Boom. Nasty looking bar here. As it continues lower, 84, 85 cents, maybe 80 cents. Heck, maybe even 75 cents. Who knows? Again, another 50% to the downside. Is that possible? Absolutely. This is crypto, right? Here's one that's looking great, is Harmony, which is ONE1. So Harmony is looking great. Yeah, just fantastic. Nothing bad to see there, right? Another one looking good is Chainlink. Link is looking really good comparatively to the other cryptos. So just be aware of what's actually working, right? And here's Stellar, not looking so stellar, right? If it breaks this area, it's looking pretty nasty. Mana, on the weekly, not doing anything wrong, as long as it stays above, this $230 or $2.30, as long as it stays above there, it's just consolidating. It's this big bar right here. We'll see what happens. Near looks really good, kind of holding this area right here. If it breaks below 1175-ish, 1180, things could change pretty quickly. But right now, Near holding up well. VeChain, again, looks very toppy here. A break below 60 cents and things get real nasty real fast. Probably this is an area where it could potentially go to, right? That's a very long way away. Looking up Atom, holding up great, right? Another one that looks good. Love this, the way this is looking compared to the other charts. Tons of relative strength. Elron, again, this is an area that's important, a little bit extended to the downside. It may pop up a little bit, but if it breaks 175-ish, things can go pretty south pretty quickly. This looks like an area maybe, but that's at 65, right? That's a pretty big ways down. So again, just be careful. Sand, a lot like mana, holding up really good, at least right now it is. XTZ, Tezos, this is again, right on its support area. If it breaks, it could go down to $2 again, another about 50%. That seems like the common theme. There's a chance for 50%. Gala, again, not much data here because I'm using Coinbase, which just I think brought on a few months ago, but breaking down, not looking good. AMP, trying to hold this important area, right? If it loses 4 cents, things get pretty nasty pretty quickly. That's an AMP. Helium, HNT, holding up pretty good comparatively to the other ones. So that's kind of nice to see. Just kind of flagging out here. Not too bad. Phantom, in a range at best, right? But if it gets to the bottom of the range, that's what? About a 50% decline. Do we see a theme here, right? Again, I like this name, but there's a chance it could decline by 50%. All right, so let's go into some miners and things of that nature, crypto related stuff. Here's Hut 8, looking pretty nasty, man. I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole. Mara, again, got false breakout, rejected, and is looking pretty nasty here. $20 very likely. If it breaks this $21 area, gets pretty bad. Bitfarms coming back down to potential support down here. Yeah, so could go down $3. I don't know, but that's again not what you want to see. Bullish, bearish crossover. SI, Silvergate Capital, maybe it comes down to this $85-$86 level. It's funny, regional banks are doing really good in general, but because of the heavy crypto name is associated with crypto and Bitcoin and everything else, we're seeing this breakdown also. Right, blockchain starting to break lower. This is pretty bad, but it's extended. Again, a bounce up and then the turnover. That would be the bearish scenario. And then the ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF, Bitcoin futures. Again, it's just been basically down the whole way, and definitely something to watch. If this starts to turn around, then maybe the whole sector does pretty good. Few relative strength names out there, but not many. And the theme again is that there could be a 50% move still to the downside. Heck, if Bitcoin, there's 32% in Bitcoin. So the alts, you got to figure, would be a little bit worse. And then if Bitcoin goes all the way, which I don't think it will, but you never know, that could be a 60 or 70% correction, well within its character, right? Well within its character. I mean, we've had corrections, top to bottom here, 84%. We've had corrections here, top to bottom, 72%. So this is we'll call it worst case scenario. But with all that being said, I think the first stop will be, if this doesn't hold, which is this 42,000, 39,000 area, then the next stop could potentially be, another 30% move lower, which would be pretty nasty, pretty bad. But it's just the way I see it. Could be wrong. And then this double top is in play, and 12 to 13,000 is very likely, in my opinion. All right, so just be careful out there. Know your time frame for crypto. If you're a long-term dollar cost averaging investor, you love this. You're going to buy it the entire way, all the way down, because you know that when it turns back up, you're going to make a fortune. If you're a trader and you move things fast, Just be careful if you're going to be long any crypto names. I wouldn't be long very, very long until we start seeing more positive price action. Okay. Hope you all have a great day. Good luck out there.